welcome everyone to this very special and amazing time, an amazing discussion that we really want to have. Being a whole lot of time we've not had growth school for a while, and I want to take a bit of this time to share and to discuss on this. And I don't want it to look like I don't even want to have it like edited. I want to just have like real conversation and very, very deliberate things that I want you to learn from. I want us to share. I want us to just gather and begin to pick one or two lessons which I believe may really, really, really help you at this time. Now, I'm going to start by saying that it's very important to document every phase and every moment and every area of your life. Make sure that as you journey, you pay attention to the things that are happening and the things that you're learning from them. Because we have a lot of people who live and a lot of people who go about life, but do not really learn the lessons of life. All right, I'll say that again. A lot of people live in life, but many of them do not learn the lessons of life. And most of the greatest lessons you're going to learn will come from the experiences you have had or the experiences you have heard about, but most of the time you have not really paid attention to them. You have not really paid attention to them. And that's why it's really, really essential that sometimes we're able to pick up from our life lessons, we're able to pick up from conversations, we're able to pick up from certain things that have happened, and we have been able to see, we have been able to look at, we have been able to get one or more ideas from. And this is why a conversation like this is happening. So we're looking at lessons from trials and pain, lessons from trials and pain. Most people do not grow up becoming wiser because most people have not learned how to really learn. I'll say that again. Most people have not learned how to really learn because there's actually a practice as knowing how to learn. And in this very short time, I do not intend that this is going to be very long, but I want you to really learn and look at this. At a certain time in my life, I trusted a couple of individuals and brought them close to my circle. We put up certain visions, certain ideas, worked on certain things together. And at that particular period, it succeeded really, really good. And while he succeeded, a member of those people who I looked up to felt, oh, you've done this amazing. Congratulations. I think I will be willing to also replicate this because at the time, I was not even willing to continue with that. I only wanted to move on to other things. And we started out, we moved on, and we started putting out effort. I was going out and ensuring this person succeeded and all of this. And eventually I just found out I got caught up and the other person wanted to go ahead with the idea and with the stuff, started making a lot of mistakes and got issues here and there. And instead of owning up and taking responsibility, the person started perpetrating a lot of lies and then even got to the point of defaming defamation of character and all of that. And looking at all of this, it became very painful, it became very, very serious, and I just moved on and forgave and just carried on. And one of the things you need to recognize is that your pain season or your trying season are not moments that you should waste. Most people use their pain season, their trial seasons, just complaining, crying, weeping, doing all of those things. As amazing as that may look, and as relieving as that may seem, one of the things you should do in such season is to sit down and document the lessons you have learned from all of this. The reason why most people get betrayed over and over again, the reason why most people fall into issues that maybe get people to steal from them, get people to even take away things that are precious away from them, is because when they go through a pain season, all they do is cry, and before they know it, they repeat those seasons again. They never create moments to write, to journal, to begin to write out the lessons they have learned from their pain season. And sometimes your pain can be a gift. Sometimes your trials can be a gift. Because if you do not have pain moments, you will not know how to protect yourself from making such pain being inflicted on you again. If you do not face certain trying times, you would end up repeating the same mistake that got you to the point of pain. So, part of the things you need to know how to do is to journal. Journal your lessons from your pain season. A lot of things happened recently in my life. That's happened recently, even in family that looks very, very daring, having to bear, having to go through certain things, looked really demanding, and all of those things. And I sat down one of those days, and this is the 20th of April 2026. I sat down and started writing what I got from that trip paint season and from that trying season. And I will just share maybe three, or I will share maybe two with you. And I'm going to start this way. Number one, some experiences in life cannot be learned and effectively taught when you have not passed through them. Your life is a message that God desires to tell to a generation. He is faithful even when He watches you learn through the process. He's faithful even when He watches you learn through the process. You know, when people pass through certain things, let me make, for example, when you lose a loved one. I remember 2022 when I lost my mom. I teared up greatly. I cried like a baby. There are things that happen to you that you just even can't imagine. Like this is you as an adult. You look so embarrassing to yourself. You look so nothing. You would even forget what you have, what you've attained, what you've gathered. And when you pass through those seasons, you see people that will tell you, "Oh, I understand. I understand how you feel." Let me tell you the reality. People can't really understand how you feel when they have not felt it before. That's one thing about pain. You cannot understand how people feel when you have not gone through that experience. And there are lessons, there are things you will never realize until you have been in the shoe, you have been in the same situation as that individual. You would not really get it. Don't tell people who are going through trying times, people who are going through painful seasons, and tell them, "Oh, I understand." You don't understand if you've not been there. You don't understand if you have not felt it before. And that's why you should never feel or tell people that, "Oh, why are you even being childish? Is it because of this little thing that happened?" I feel it's not sensitive if you have not been there. Most times, the people who can truly encourage, the people who can truly uplift, the people who can truly assist you out of your trying seasons, and people who can bring you out of your pain seasons are those who have been there before. The people who have not been there can't get it. They can't get it. If you have not been in a situation where you were tried, you had that painful moment, you had that tough moment, you had that serious moment, you can't get it. That's why when people come in and say, "Oh, is it because you failed in business?" People used to fail now. People can speak that way if they have not failed in business before, they have not passed through those situations before. So one of the things you need to understand is that some experiences in life, you can't just learn them from hearing them. You learn them by experiencing them. The person who has been scammed by a very, very close friend, the person who has been scammed before by even his own blood brother or blood sister, can truly tell you when he sees a similar pattern to tell you that, oh, you believe this person, somebody who's close to you, I'm telling you, this person will make you go through this. Or maybe when you're going through this, the person can tell you, oh, I've been there before. I've been there before. So one of the things you need to recognize is that some lessons have to be learned. Sometimes life situations or God has to make you go through certain situations because of the message He wants to bring out of your life. Are you aware it's possible people would have not believed in restoration if Job never passed through trials? There was this man, well respected, who was so wealthy, who was so blessed. He had amazing daughters who were so fair, so beautiful. He was blessed in business, in cattle, in agriculture. He was doing well in enterprise, in innovation. He was doing so well. He had amazing friends who were wealthy. He was giving to people, feeding people, and all of that. And in just a season of life, this man lost everything. He lost his children, he lost his business, he lost his workers, he lost his reputation, he lost his respect, he lost the people who were always coming to heal him. And he went through that season. And then he had an infliction on himself health-wise, where he started having boils around his body. And eventually, he stayed true. He stayed true. Sometimes his friend felt, oh, you have sinned, you have done all of this. You know how people can always think that because someone is passing through pain or passing through certain situation, it's happening to them because they are sinned. It's happening to them because they have done something terrible. It's happened to them because they have dig their hand into something. Because you have not been there, that's why you can speak that way. So sometimes there are certain things you have to truly experience to be able to properly teach to people. When you have not gone through things, don't just come, speak this, bring this, and do all of those things. Certain experiences have to be learned, and then you are able to teach it. Take, for example, the apprenticeship model. It's possible to go to school and study mechanical engineering, and then you even came out with the first class. Why? Because you could write, you could do all of those drawing, you ran through a project, and then you do all of those things. And then your car becomes faulty. With your first class, will you be able to repair it? If you have not gone through an experience, knowing how to lose it, knowing the component, knowing all of those things, knowing how to bring this together, knowing how to tighten this, knowing how to lose this, you will be there with your first class in mechanical engineering, but yet you cannot solve the problem. That's why when people run through certain problems, when people run through certain situations, when people are going through trying times, when people are going through situations that look really, really, really hurt, and you see them crying and weeping, don't say they are being childish if you have not been in their shoes. That's why when you see certain people look at you, go to certain situations, and they are so calm, and they are studying you, and they are looking at you, and they're just telling you it's okay, and then they start telling you their own stories, you become calmer because there's an experience speaking. All right, so I'm going to read that again. Some experiences in life cannot be learned and effectively taught when you have not passed through it. You cannot show people the way you have not passed through. You can't tell people, oh, this is the way. When you go through this place, go to the left. When you turn to the left, go to the right. And then the first building that is actually wide, there's a two-story building. Why? Because you have passed through that route, you can effectively show people how to get to certain destination. And one thing to recognize is that when you're going through those seasons, God remains faithful. One of the things you should not do is to speak against God. Maybe right now things seem hard. Maybe right now something is happening that you never prepared for, you never expected. Maybe right now you're going through a route, you're going through a journey. Maybe you hit a disappointment. Maybe something happened in career. Maybe something happened relationship-wise. Maybe something happened in certain situations. And then it looks so painful. It looks so daring. It looks like this was going to be the end. You know something? That's where hope begins to stay, because God watches through every situation. And the fact that He's not showing up instantly does not mean He's unfaithful. He's making you go through that process so you will be built and you'll be a voice that will encourage people. Maybe right now you're going through something that is taking a lot of resources from you, is making you spend, is making you doing those things, not because you are being lavish, but simply because they're essential that you have to get them done. So, my friend, watching and listening to me right now, that experience you're passing through is not going to destroy you. It's not there to destroy you, it's there to build you. That moment that looks like is a tough moment, is each moment, is all of those things, it's building you, it's making you run through a process, it's helping you gather momentum, it's making you build the chapters of life, it's making you rise, and it's making you grow, it's making you advance. So you need to understand that this experience you are going through is not there to destroy you. God remains faithful. That's something you need to recognize. Never look at God and say, oh, why did this happen? You're not this, you're not that. God remains faithful. Now, sometimes your greatest ideas, your greatest inspirations, the greatest solutions you would have to the problems of thousands and hundreds of people will come during your trying times. Sometimes your greatest message will be gathered during your pain moment. And this is something you need to recognize. Now, number two lesson that I learned through trials is faith is not proven in rosy situations. Faith is not proven in rosy situation. It is shown through trials, and when you are furnished, you will come out shining bright. You don't prove your faith. You know, people say, oh, I have faith when everything is good, when everything is fine, when everything is rosy, when everything seems good, when everything seems nice. You're saying you have faith? Pass through trials and let's see if your faith will remain. If your faith still remains in your trying times, if you can still believe the things you used to believe, when you are passing through trials, when you're passing through difficulties, when you're passing through pain, then you have faith. But don't tell me you have faith when everything seems so nice, when everything goes the way you want. But when you are still able to trust God, even in the trying times, then you have faith. That was why faith was saying, that was why Job was able to say, why will I curse God? Why will I curse God? He said, he will not say anything evil against God. It is trying times. But when everything is rosy, and then you're coming every day, and everything is fine, everything is going out, everything is clicking the way you've gone, and you have never seen trials, you have never seen pain, and you say you have faith, I'm sorry to tell you, you don't have faith. Your faith has not been tested. You know, when people say they have this shawarma faith and pizza faith, that's not faith. Faith is proven when you are faced trials. All right. And one thing you need to also recognize finally is that God is still in the story. God is still in the story. Maybe right now you have relationship issue, financial issue, business issue, career issue. Some things are going on right now in your life that does not seem too nice, that does not seem too good. And right now you are so pained, you feel so bad, you feel so tormented, you are about giving up. One thing you need to recognize is that God is still in the story. And God is still the one supervising everything going on in your life. God is still in the story. God is still in it. And that's why you see people say, oh, this moment of my life, I never knew I could come out of it. Oh, this was so serious. This was so this. But eventually, oh, today we're able to do all of this. And then you see them rejoice. You see them joyous. Why? Because God is still in the story. Do you think God left Joseph the moment Joseph went to the prison, despite having a dream that he was a leader? Do you think God gave up on him? Despite the fact that he was a leader, despite the fact that he saw and he was able to recognize all of the things that God promised. What happened? He stayed true and he was able to overcome eventually. One of the things you need to recognize is that God is in the story and you must never give up on God. Write that down. You must never give up on God. You must never give up on the fact that he's able to bring God out. He said, in all these things, yet we are more than conquerors. Why? Because we trust in him, because we have stayed on him. Stay on the things that are able to bring you out, the things that are able to keep you staying. And then also, another thing I realized is that you will know your true friends, you will know your true family, you will know your true partners, you know your true associates when you are in difficult situations, not when things are good, not when things are nice, not when you can always give. Never term or choose your loyal men or your loyal friends when you are always giving out things, when they are always in supply, when everything seems nice, when everything seems good. Hold on for the times when their loyalties will be tested and they have nothing to gain. If people are loyal to you despite having nothing to gain from you, then they are the real people. Just watch out for the people that stay. Watch out for the people that stay around. Watch out for the people that keep coming. Watch out to the people who are that persistent, who are always saying, regardless of what you're going through, I'm going to stay with you for life. And you would always realize that the people that matter the most in your life are the people that remain in your trying seasons and your time of pain. So, three lessons again. Number one, some experiences cannot be taught, you have to experience them. Number two is that faith is not proven in good seasons, in rosy times, they are proven in your trying times. And then number three, God is in the story. God is watching everything. God is supervising everything and is forming and furnishing you, or is creating you and bringing you into shape in the seasons of your pain. And finally, number four, the true friends, true family, true associates, true partners will stay with you in your trying seasons. Sometimes trying seasons is only filtering out the wrong people out of your life. I hope this was important. I hope this was valuable to you. Document your lessons from your pain and keep learning from them. Till I come your way again, keep improving, keep making your life better, and making the rest of your life the best of your life. Bye bye.